Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio. Yes, we are brought to you by championnews.net, your choice for the conservative voice. During the break, Lennie, you were mentioning a specific area that is paying so much per student, and they're not getting the educational quality.
Well, Jack was talking about averages. We actually looked at Beach Park, which is up right toward the Zion area where we did the town hall. There's the public school in Beach Park with their averages cost $395,000 per classroom. There is a private school in Beach Park that, with their class size and what they cost, they're only spending about $75,000 to $80,000 per classroom.
So, just let's get that $75,000 per classroom compared to what?
To $395,000 per classroom.
Yeah,
it's
how
like
can it be that bad?
Yeah,
it's because one's run by the stinking government, and the other is run by people providing services. And,
right.
And how do the results compare?
That's what I was going to ask. How do the
Well, we couldn't. You can't see the results of the private school unless they want to release them because they're not under the same. So their results are not public like the public school there is. But if that school is full with what number of students they've got there, they're doing well because they have plenty of students to fill up their school as well.
Yeah,
Wouldn't they
the
want
parents
to?
know.
The parents know exactly.
Wouldn't they want to make those? Is there a line to get into the school, first of all?
That I don't know.
Waiting list?
Yeah, that I don't know. We just started to do the research into that school. We're going to dig deeper into that and some other schools around to try to get more information so we can do more and more comparisons. We first start off on just the specific cost.
But here's the funny thing. Here's the irony. As a parent and as a taxpayer, I am paying through my property taxes for my kid to go to a public school.
Right.
Now, my public school is failing and not doing the right thing. I still have to pay those property taxes, and then I also get to pay for a private school again. And I have done this with my child, which is insanity.
Because you're responsible. You recognize that the public schools are, by and large, a piece of crap compared to international standards. And the city of Chicago is much worse than, say, Barrington or the North Shore.
Right.
Imagine paying $16,000 a year in Chicago and average through the whole state. And I'll direct you to Mary's Seat of Wisdom. St. Elizabeth. 4100 South Wabash, all black. They've been serving the black and earlier the Indian community for over 70 years. It's a difficult neighborhood. This is a disadvantaged place. And how much do they spend on these kids? About $4,500 a year, less than a third of what the public schools in Chicago spend on rich and poor alike. But they're doing a good job. At St. Elizabeth's, they don't throw out the kids. The reason I'm talking to you about them, and I've been working with helping them get the little bit of money they need. I mean, I don't tell them how to run anything. They're doing great. Those little shining-eyed black kids in there, it'll break your heart to see them. They're sweethearts, and they're really learning something. In a school, it's old, but it's clean, no graffiti, no drugs. The gangs even protect the kids from St. Elizabeth on the way home.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's true.
Why? The kids in St. Elizabeth are getting a break. And they don't throw them out for non-performance or anything. But for $4,500 a year, and they charge a tuition of $2,800. My involvement with them is to give them some money to help people that don't have the tuition. But they're doing a great job. Those kids graduate from other high schools because it's a K-8. They're getting a marvelous education at a fraction. I can't get away from them because I like good examples.
The best.
And if you want a great example of how a non-government school can do a damn good education at a fraction of the price, go. I'll take it as St. Elizabeth. You'll love seeing what they're doing.
And Jack, you're bringing up the results and comparing the two, public versus private. St. Elizabeth's in any private school, what's the curriculum difference from that to what's coming up here and with the public education?
Well, there's certainly discipline is one of them.
Huge.
Yes.
Listen, you know, I've had experience with public and private schools and homeschooling and all of that. The public schools, you know, there are rules in a public school too. And the big rule they've got in the first 3 grades is stay between the lines. My last one that went through a public school, I thought he was eating the Crayolas I was buying. And I found in the 5th grade, well, I'm going to give it to him. In Barrington, I live in a rich suburb, and the schools cost lots of money. Not as much as the North Shore, they cost a lot. I found in the 5th grade, my son, who later graduated from in engineering from Purdue, in the 5th grade, he didn't know his multiplication tables. 5th grade, for God's sakes. They were patsying this kid along in the first 3 grades to where he didn't even know how to do arithmetic in 5th grade in Barrington. So I started driving him to school, and I gave him 25, this is a few years ago, I gave him 25 cents if he never made a mistake. So he got from me 9 times 7 is, you know, and he had to get the right thing all the way to school.
Michael,
but that's awful, because in the schools that are not government schools, you have people running them with kindly discipline that starts the day they first sit down in school. And a competent teacher looks at 30 kids and says, I am Mrs. So-and-so, you can call me Mrs. G, and you stay in your seat. I am the teacher, you are the student, you're going to learn here.
But now we have a solution. It's called Common Core. Isn't that for the children and beneficial?
And that's the new curriculum that's being, well, some are calling it curriculum.
Right. It's actually not a curriculum. We'll probably need to get into it in the next segment. We'll explain a little bit more about what Common Core actually is.
Stay with us to find out more about Common Core when we come back after the break. Don't go away. You're going to want to hear this.